that animation, oh my god. Like, they just put all their budget into this episode. I'm going to let you know right now, this episode, clearly all the money that was probably for the rest of the series just got crushed into this episode. Like, did you see that fight? Like, okay, I know the thumbnail. I know for a fact I want to use that thumbnail with the dirt face of Alfonso. Like, oh my god. Like, I'll get into that in a moment. I'll explain the thumbnail. But the animation of this episode, like, yo, that animation, man. Like, that animation, honestly, that beats a lot, like, majority of anime from this season. Like, when it comes to fights, like, yo, like, whoa, did you see that epic animation of Alfonso versus Leon, dude? And then right after that, you have it to where you have that horror that's attacking Leon and Alfonso, and you see that fight too, dude. The animation, the CGI, like, I don't know where they got the money from it, man. The budget in this episode, like, it went through the roof, because I mean, there's been multiple episodes through, you know, Garo that's had kind of lack of animation. I mean, there has been some animation derps, a lot of animation derps in the past couple episodes because it barely had somewhat of animation, like good animation. But this episode, yo, they placed all that budget into this episode, like, oh my god, just this episode. On an animation standpoint, with the art and animation, it was beautiful. Now, I will get into that thumbnail, okay? I want to get into that and clarify that. So, yes, I did not edit that thumbnail. That thumbnail is actually from this episode. I'm not joking. If you don't believe me, go to 13 minutes and 27 seconds, I think that's it. It's right when the fight of Leon and Alfonso is going on. You see Alfonso going in for a stab at Leon, and you see how his face is real quick. You'll see a real quick distortion, like it's less than a second on the screen, or maybe even less than that. You see that distorted face. I saw something off when I was watching the episode, so I went back to pause it, and I saw that face. But it's a very quick scene. It doesn't really matter, because I mean, it was so fast, you literally have to be pausing still frame after still frame constantly just to notice something like that. But damn, someone actually drew that and let that pass. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. So, moving past that, let's just, you know, get into the other details of the episode. So, there's a lot going on that I need to cover. A lot of ground I need to cover with this episode. So, Leon, he puts aside his inner flames, his motivation for revenge, and he gets the golden armor, Makai Knight armor, back in this episode. Alfonso returns the armor to him, which is very good. Now, here's the thing. With the episode, I thought we were going to get to see a route with Leon going the evil path, because at the beginning of the episode, it was hinting that Leon was going to go evil. I mean, you saw the, like, marks pop up on his body, which I do want to get into that in just a second. That is something I really do want to cover. But you see how he was fighting with his internal self, like this internal shadow, his revenge. He was kind of resisting it at the beginning of the episode, and eventually he overcame it, and he found a reason to want to protect people, why he should become a Makai Knight once again. And so, in the episode, the main point that you can get from it is that Leon has moved past his, you know, path of vengeance, is moved on to a path of peace or protecting people. That's what he's moved on to. And also, you have it to where Herman, he has a little bit of romance progression with the girl, the girl that's at the inn or whatever, watches over the inn. Pretty much, there's some romance progression between Herman and her, and he gives her a kiss and all that, which is like, holy hell, and they even have a sex scene. Like, I mean, we don't get to see nothing, but, and so, you see how there's romance progression between them, and Herman states he might not never come back. And so, obvious death flag is obvious. I'm just gonna say it right now. But still, the point of it is Herman at the end of the episode, he declares to Leon and Alfonso that he is going to be working with Mendoza and helping him out. And this is an order from the Watchdog Central. So, why? Like, why would they want to help out Mendoza when they kind of exiled him? Which leads into my next point I want to talk about. So, I could be wrong here. Like I said, I'm going to probably be wrong with some details, so please forgive me if I am. But if I remember correctly, I will look at it after I finish with this review, but if I remember correctly, Mendoza, he had marks on him. He was cursed with these marks on his body, and we saw how he was using his magic to, you know, cover these marks that he was, you know, bestowed upon him because of what he did, his deeds in the past, for the machine or whatever he made when he was, you know, trying to kill humanity and stuff like that. And we know he had a child, and he cast his child off a bluff that had similar markings. But what's really interesting, in this episode, Leon has those markings. Like, I don't know if they were ever shown before. Like, here's what I'm getting at. I don't know if the markings are different, slightly different, but the markings look oddly similar to Mendoza's markings. It really does. Like, you saw the markings glow from a purple to a reddish type color, and I'm like, dude, that looks like Mendoza's markings. Like, I'm like, yo, like, why? Why is he cursed? Like, why does he have those marks? So, I don't know. Like, is that Mendoza's, like, type of exiled markings on Leon's body? And if so, are you telling me that Leon might be the child of Mendoza? Because we do know the child or whatever was killed and thrown off a bluff. Well, we saw Mendoza do that. He threw his child, like, off a bluff. And we don't know necessarily because we never got to see a body, thank God. But still, the point of it is, we never saw a body. So, are they trying to let me know that Leon is the son of Mendoza? Like I said, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please don't butcher me. Don't cut my head off. But I think that's what I think it's implying. But that's pretty much this episode. It was a very good episode. I loved it from start to finish. Animation, 10 out of 10. Like, oh my god. Like, they put a lot of budget in that animation. I just wanted to compliment that because they did an astounding job when it came to the animation. So, tell me your thoughts in the comments below. How'd you feel about this episode? Do you agree with my theory about Mendoza and Leon? Let me know, and if I'm wrong, please also correct me. I am fine for, you know, criticism if I got it wrong, because I most likely did. But you all have a wonderful day or not, wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.